Hello, everyone. My guest today is Enrico Palmerino. He's a serial entrepreneur and thought leader in the accounting sector. With the launch of his most recent company, Botkeeper, he introduced the world's first robotic bookkeeper, which combines machine learning and AI with skilled accountants to automate bookkeeping for companies of all sizes, thereby providing them with the highest accuracy and fastest insights at the lowest costs. Enrico, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yes.
Okay. It takes a special kind of person to get excited about bookkeeping. Tell us what's wrong with you.
Actually, the inside joke in the company is I hate bookkeeping. And so it's very ironic that I started a bookkeeping company. But I thought for all of those like me who hate bookkeeping and who are, just kind of fed up with the process, it's time consuming. It takes a lot of work. It requires a lot of time to manage bookkeepers. They inevitably make mistakes. They're human. What do you expect? But for everyone who wished that there was a better option, that's kind of where Botkeeper started. And the concept was, maybe we could make bookkeeping sexy and be something that people desired and provided a lot of benefit.
And what's the revenue model? Is it a pure play SaaS company?
Yep. Pure play SaaS. We do have some services that sit on top of the SaaS, but not charged as like extra services. So it's all just baked into that fixed monthly fee.
It's kind of like you look at that as like onboarding and retention.
Yeah, we look at it as it's an all-you-can-eat fee. So everything under the sun, whatever you need, whether it's collection calls or it's talking to like a real person, it's included in that fixed monthly fee that you pay. That's based on your transaction volume.
And what's the average customer pay per month? Would you say?
Average client pays somewhere around $500 a month.
Okay.
So not talking a whole lot of money. We replace, put it in perspective, we're replacing part-time bookkeepers for a couple $100 to $500 a month. We replace full-time bookkeepers for a couple grand a month. You can replace controllers for like maybe $3,000.
How are you measuring usage? Is it like number of QuickBook entry ledger files? Like, what is the utility metric?
So usage for our clients is based on transaction volume. So how many transactions are we processing? How many bills are we paying? Invoices are we sending?
Quantity, not amount.
Quantity, correct.
Yeah. Yep. So in other words, like it could be one transaction for $1 million, but they're going to pay you less than 1 million transactions for $1.
Correct. Yeah. So let's say you send an invoice out to someone and that invoice has 100 line items on it. But as far as the accounting goes, you really only care to account for that invoice as a whole, like a 200K invoice. Then that's just one item.
I see. Okay. And how many customers have you scaled to today?
We have over 500 companies that we support.
Oh, that's great. Well, I want to get more of the backstory here, but I mean, it sounds like that's pretty healthy. 500 folks at average 500 a month. You guys are north of 250 at this point per month.
We're getting close.
Around there.
Close to that. We have some clients that are smaller. We have some clients that are way smaller. But yeah, definitely close to 2 million ARR.
What'd you do last month?
Last month we did somewhere around 138, 140K.
Okay, 140K, and that's pre-professional services.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So we basically expect we'll be over 166 probably by the end of this month.
That's great.
So that lets us hit the $2 million run rate. So we're growing a decent clip.
Where were you a year ago?
A year ago, we were at about 35, 40K.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, I mean, pretty substantial growth. I want to dive more into kind of how you drove that growth, but give me more of the backstory here. So what year did you launch in?
We launched in 2015. So we spent most of 2015 building the product, getting like the first beta out there. We launched the beta or alpha in the fall. The alpha proved to be quite well. We basically were able to show in that alpha with a couple of our clients that we could clean up years worth of bookkeeping in a matter of a couple of weeks, which is by like bookkeeping standards, like next to impossible. And not only was the cleanup very fast, but one of those companies ended up getting acquired within a month after we presented the financials, which meant that our financials went through an audit. They were looked at, like scrutinized, and the fact that they passed with no issue said, okay, cool. We've not only have we figured out a way to do this really efficiently, but we've been able to do it very accurately. So in January 2016, we launched the product, or like the version 1 of Botkeeper.
And what'd you do first year revenue? Do you remember?
All in first year, I want to say we did. So 2016, we did somewhere close to 300K.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. And then by the end of 2017, we did over 1 million. And so we expect, the end of this year, we'd like to do somewhere around 4 or 5.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Are you bootstrapped or have you raised money?
We raised money recently. So we were bootstrapped all the way up until the fall of 2017. So I funded it. I was fortunate to have had a couple other exits prior to botkeeper that provided me the means to do that. But coming into the end of 2017, early 2018, we raised $4.5 million with Ignition Partners as our lead. And then we had other investors, including like Matthew at 500 Startups and Trevor at Correlation Ventures, a bunch of other VCs, and several local entrepreneurs.
Yep. How much of your own money did you put into the company before getting outside money?
Probably close to about $1 million.
Okay, so I mean that's a fairly healthy amount. You've had some success. Yeah. What was your most successful exit prior to botkeeping or botkeeper?
That would be ThinkLight. So started a business that similar, like very same concept as botkeeper. Use decision trees, algorithms to automate certain processes and workflows. Except we did it with lighting and how you analyze, design, and manufacture LEDs. And that business we grew to about 60 employees, $8.5 million in recurring revenue, and then got acquired.
Mm-hmm. Why did you make the decision to sell that? Why was it the right time?
The lighting market's a tough market. So if you think about it, you're building a product that lasts for 10 years. So very slow resale cycle. The other thing is you built a product that's so efficient that if you had, our model was this pay as you save or cost saving based model, you can't go around and do that again the next round. Like you're just paying for the product. And if you saw what was going on in the lighting industry at the time, you had a lot of people dumping a ton of money in this race to the bottom in terms of pricing that I felt like, okay, we're capturing revenue very quickly. We've got this recurring kind of payment subscription component to our business that, means that we'll have revenue for at least the next 5 years. And, it's kind of like anything, right? Like if you show that upward quick trajectory, you can get a really nice valuation. And the thing I worried about was, okay, as prices keep coming down and coming down drastically, we went from selling given lighting units at about, anywhere from $100 or $135 a unit per luminaire. That could be like a highway light or something that's being done to, $35, $50 a unit.
Oh, wow.
You start having to sell like, fortunately our growth was fast enough that the volume of units was still increasing rapidly, but you eventually light up the world and, the opportunities start to slow down.
Yep.
So
that's a good tagline. I like it. Light up the world, right? People can throw whatever they want from that. All right. Back to botkeeper. So churn is obviously critical in a SaaS business. Tell me about your churn.
So we have, from a revenue retention standpoint, we have a negative churn, which is really cool.
How negative?
Minimum of 20 points negative, positive of 34. I mean, the low end, negative 20, at the high end, negative 34.
Okay.
So basically we retain 120 to 134% of all of our revenue every year. That's thanks to, our clients growing, upgrading their packages, remaining on with botkeeper, maybe rolling out different components of our service. And then, from a churn standpoint, we churn like somewhere around maybe 4%, 4 to 6% of our clients. Obviously, we deal with a lot of startups.
Monthly or annually?
Annually.
Annually. So
actually, we've churned a total of about 6% since founding. So
yeah, that's not horrible actually. So if your gross revenue churn is 6%, but your net revenue retention is 124, it means your expansion is about 30% year over year.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's really healthy. What are you doing to drive such, low churn? Have you dialed in, there's this one thing you've got to get a new customer to do in the first 24 hours to make them super sticky?
So I think the key thing where we've seen churn is around clients signing up and either having really unrealistic expectations as to what can be delivered in short order. Like you expect us to crawl through, maybe 3 years worth of books and clean up all your financials and deliver a board presentation and board ready numbers in 2 days. It's probably not going to happen. We are really good at what we do, but we can't work magic yet. But if you gave us like a 2-week timeline or 3-week timeline, we can turn that around and do something that no one else can do. It's just a matter of expectation on this magic thing that's botkeeper. So I think that's one of the things that we've had some churn where people think it's you push this magic button, you sit back, you watch, and then everything just happens. We've had some people sign up where they sign up, and once again, kind of this whole idea that like you push a button, they don't integrate their data feeds or spend, an hour or two with my
What
team.
feeds do you need, by the way? Is it like a Stripe Connect or?
I mean, think of it, it's like Mint. If you've ever used mint.com, all we literally need you to do is enter a username and password for like your bank, your credit card, and maybe payroll and a couple other things. Now you could go to town and do like link up your Google Analytics and social media and CRM system. I mean, the more data you give us, the more reporting and stuff we can give you.
Yeah.
But if you won't spend the 2 minutes doing that, it's very hard for us to do anything for you. And if you won't hop on a phone call with us, despite like numerous emails and calls to do so, then we can't really do anything for you. And eventually you churn out because you're like, I'm paying and I'm not getting anything.
What percentage of your current customers would you say are SaaS companies?
Maybe 20%.
Okay. So not a ton.
No, it's we have such a broad sweeping range of clientele. So it's startups that are building software and tech. We have startups that are companies that are manufacturing products. We have cleaning companies and dental practices. We have consultants. We have restaurant chains. We've got some large media companies. We've got supermarkets. So it's literally just anyone that needs bookkeeping, you could switch to botkeeper and we guarantee save you 30% on what you're spending.
What's your CAC? What are you paying to acquire these customers?
It depends, like on which channel. So, kind of all in average, maybe we pay a couple grand to acquire, and that would be like fully weighted.
Yep.
And, we've got a long retention rate on most of our clients. So
what do you assume lifetime value is?
I assume at least 4 years for majority. Yeah.
So four, I mean, if we take earlier, I think you said you're doing like 130 with 450 customers, which means they're paying, what is that, $260 a month on average or $3,000 a year. So, I mean, if you got a 4-year thing, that's at least 12 grand in LTV at a minimum, right?
Yep.
Interesting. And so if you do,
so we're basically our spend, if you think about it, we spend say $1 to generate at least 10 at this point, and we're trying to drive that up to 20.
Or in terms of lifetime.
Yeah, in terms of lifetime, and like, a combination of like lower the cost, right? So if we can, spend half of what we're spending right now to generate the same revenue, we could spend the same dollar to generate twice the revenue.
Do you know your metric in terms of dollars spent for $1 new of ARR, not $1 new of lifetime value?
Yeah, it's literally 1 for 10 right now, like on the nose, exact.
You can spend, well, didn't you just tell me though that you spend $2,000 to generate a new $260 per month customer?
No, we spend $2,000 to generate an average client of about $550 a month.
Got it. I'm taking your historical numbers, 500 customers at the 130 right now. You're saying new customers you're signing up, it's $2,000 and the average price is $550.
Correct, because we have a lot of clients too that will come in through referrals. That might be the smaller clients. So we'll get a lot more volume in smaller clients, but those aren't necessarily the ones that are clicking ads and stuff and buying from sales tactics.
Okay, but just to be clear too, even at that number, so $550 a month is what? That's $6,600 per year, and you're spending $2,000 to get that. So it's 1 to 3, not 1 to 10.
But right? It's a 4-year. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going 4. Yeah.
Yeah. You're doing, that's what I'm saying, which is fine. You're measuring lifetime. I was just curious what it was for an ARR.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Those are really healthy economics. Where is most of that weight coming from an inside sales team? Tell me about your team size today.
So right now we have a team of 8 that's going to become a team of 13. They are what we call brand ambassadors because we don't do hard selling. We don't do presentations. Very rarely do we do proposals. It's more for our very large clients that require, they want a lot of detail and a contract and everything in place. Majority of our clients are going to our site, clicking the package and signing up that way. So our brand ambassadors, more than anything, are going out there and just educating people that there's this new way of doing bookkeeping. Don't hire a contractor, don't hire an outsourced firm, don't hire an employee. Literally just sign up right here. You'll get 24/7 service and support. It'll cost 30 to 50% less than any of the other options. It's more accurate. It has unlimited reporting. It scales up with you. It gets cheaper as you get bigger. So just letting people know that there's that option, and then all those benefits basically sell themselves.
Yep. And is the whole team based where?
Team is scattered now across LA, SF, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts,
so remote.
And South Carolina. Super remote.
Yeah.
Our team in the U.S. is we're a total of 50 people now.
Oh, I thought you said 8 people. You're a total of 50.
No, 8 on the sales team. Yeah.
Got it. 50 people total.
50 people total.
I was going to say, I was doing the math going, wow, his revenue per employee is through the roof with 8 people.
No, I wish.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff here, Enrico. Let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Favorite business book, I have to say probably Traction.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Hap Klopp has always been like one of those individuals, the CEO, founder of the North Face. So he's always been one that I look up to and I've gotten a lot of guidance from.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the business?
I don't know. I think I've recently started to like a tool called 15.5. It's a pretty good platform for managing the team, doing like one-on-ones, check-ins, staying on top of objectives. So I'd say that's my.
Did you say 50, 50 and 5 or 15, 1, 5?
155.
Okay, got it. 155. Got it. 15.5.
Yeah, so 15.5.
Yep. Very cool. All right, number 4. How many hours of sleep do you get every night?
5 to 6.
Okay, that's pretty good. And situation, married, single, do you have kids?
Married, just had a baby 2 months ago.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. And how old are you?
I am 29.
29. All right, last question. What do you wish your 30 or your 20-year-old self knew?
I wish my 20-year-old self knew the importance of like discipline and structure on a business. So like it's funny, like I've now with this business and even like the last started to be able to like stamp out, okay, this is a great process for sales and marketing. This is a great way to like set up procedure manuals. This is how we're going to run meetings, et cetera. And if my 20-year-old self, I think we could have probably taken my first business a lot bigger than we did if we weren't chasing our tail as much.
Do you blog about that stuff anywhere? Like how you run a meeting, how you put procedure docs together?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's if I did, I'd be averaging 4 to 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah. Guys, there you have it from Enrico. Launched his company in 2015 after a successful exit in the lighting space. Used about $1 million of his own money to fund this for many years bootstrapped, then raised $4.5 million, again, to help fund his team of 50 building this tool, botkeeper, which makes and saves you significant amount of money on record keeping, reporting, board reports, or just monthly closeouts, ranging from SaaS companies to media companies to restaurants and everything in between. They've got about 500 customers paying about $260 per month right now on average, 130 grand in monthly recurring revenue. That's up from 40 grand in MRR just about a year ago. So healthy growth. He's got 6% gross revenue churn, but he's net revenue retention annually is 124%. So healthy expansion there. And then healthy economics in terms of payback and everything else. Enrico, we're rooting for you. Thank you so much for taking us to the top.
Thank you, sir. Have a good rest of your day.